Great questions. B-Lou's great. Had a great practice today. We just got to get him dialed in on this game plan that we're doing. A little bit, not really, but a little bit different style defense from some other teams. We just got to get him dialed in. But he had a really good practice today. A defense that plays hard. Defense is disciplined. Play with the hair on fire. Guys are where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. They play with confidence. They do a good job. I'm going to say they don't do a lot, but teams usually do a lot more when they play us. So we're prepared for all that stuff, but he's more of a keep things in front of him, play hard, get you off course, and then try and get you a stop on third down. Greg Gasparotto, his name is, does a good job with their defense. They're playing with confidence right now, so we got to be dialed in on what we're doing. You prepare for what you see on film. You prepare your players for what you see on film, and then I prepare myself for what could occur. It's kind of like I talk to quarterbacks about how they study film. Like when they study film and they're watching the play, on Chief they know what every receiver runs. Everyone on the team knows that. So when you watch Chief, don't watch to see if he runs the right route. Put yourself in a situation where, okay, if the defense plays man coverage, where am I going with the ball? If they play cover 3, where am I going with the ball? If they want to bring zero blitz, what am I doing? And that's how he has to watch film in those situations. So, players, we prepare for what we see on film. We get him set for that situation. I'm ready to adjust in the booth for what he could do. Okay, so what in his system could he do differently or could he do more of? Then I'd have my plan for that ready to adjust on Saturdays or Friday nights in this case. Saturday wouldn't help us out this week. Yeah, it'd be too late to adjust on Saturdays.
Have you noticed, especially the past 3 games, it feels like obviously you guys saw the run game, the way you guys played, starting to adjust to what's the adjusting to that, and like the past 3 weeks trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, as I told you, I'm gonna take what the defense gives us. So we've been throwing the ball a little bit better. B-Lou's got a little more rushing yards the last couple of weeks because of what the things they're doing. So that's part of the adjustment side of it. A couple of weeks ago, they tried to double team Tez, Jamari, and Bus had their biggest days of their career. They want to play soft. They want to play the run game. Then the backside edge is free. That's why B-Lou's getting some yards. I think he had 80+ yards last week rushing. So to me, that's all part of the chess match back and forth. And it's not only with the coordinator you go against right now. Defensive coordinators, they have this cult. I think Hankins is in on it. Okay, I'm kidding about Hankins, my guy. But they talk to each other, and hey, this is what I liked when we played Memphis. So other teams are trying that. You know what I mean? Other teams in the conference want us to lose, so they communicate to each other, they talk to each other, they help each other out. No different than I call some offensive coordinators and say, what do you like against him? What do you like against that? Some guys talk to you, some guys don't. But at the same time, our adjustments are what you're seeing. So B-Lou's getting more yards. We're throwing the ball a little bit more. Load the box. So what we do last week, we hit a screen pass. Things like that put it on edge that try and get them out of what, as I tell my wife all the time, I do a lot more than just come sit in the office and watch TV. Like, we have answers for what they can do, and those answers show up, and then you got to have answers off of that. So trying to win Sunday and Monday nights, which is the whole point of being a coordinator. No, just defense. I'm not part of it. If so, they're not calling me. I'm not cool enough to be in it if there is one.
How are you liking the
Yeah, you know what? He has it in him. It bugs me sometimes when people say he's not as accurate as the previous guy, but completion percentage is a lot higher than what the previous guy had. No shot at him. He's gonna be mad at me and probably call me after me saying that publicly here. But B-Lou can spin it. B-Lou can throw it. B-Lou he can do it. I mean, he hit some 15, 20-yard comebacks to the field last week, which is an area of the field people don't really cover that much. Okay, that brings a whole new dynamic to what defensive coordinators look at. Okay, so he's doing a great job of doing what we ask him to do. And he's doing a great job of taking what the defense gives. He's done a great job of buying into the system of what we're doing. And that's one thing I'll say about this offense. I have a lot of good things to say about him, but one thing I'll say about him, there is no animosity towards somebody else having success. If we have to run the ball, Frankie scored 3 touchdowns. He had a Brandon Thomas type day, 3 touchdowns from 2 yards out each time. There was nothing from Sutton or Gregg upset by that. If we have to throw the ball, the running backs do what they're supposed to do. We got Sutton the ball through the air a couple times last week. Receiver-wise, if we have to run it, that's it. If someone else catches a touchdown, that's it. That to me, that's huge for an offense. When things don't go well, there's times. 2 weeks ago we went 5 drives without scoring. There was no bickering back and forth. So to me, that's what we need. That's what we have, and that's what we're doing a good job. And Bilu is the epitome of that, the leader of this team, leader of this unit. So he is taking what the defense gives him and doing exactly what we ask him to do.
Is there a couple people, you talked about a couple of procedures about running, sliding, stuff like that?
Not sliding, but get down, protect yourself. He slid. What was that? South Florida, and we didn't get the first down. That's not good. That guy. No, we do talk about getting down, not taking unnecessary hits. We don't talk sliding because that loses you 3-4 yards. So we talk about getting head first dive or get out of bounds if you can. Yes, we teach that, and that to me is hard for a kid like B because he's such a competitor and he's had some success. But we'd rather rather a fighting soldier than a dead hero, right? Immensely. It's changed what the defenses are doing, and to me that's when it starts to be seen. When defenses start doing different things of coverages, they're playing man free, but they're playing that man free safety over top of Tez. That's a different look for us, so we have to adjust off of that and do some different things with him to still get him the ball. It's not a true cover 2 look over top, because if they play cover 2, then the box is going to be free and the box is going to be open. That allows them to play man coverage and put 2 guys on Tez, forcing our other 2 receivers to have some big plays, because they've made big plays for us. If you play man free, you can get an extra hat in the box and try and spy someone on B and still double team Tez. So he is creating the defenses to do different things, which to me is a sign that he's showing out for what he's doing for us offensively.
And teams do want to throw that extra safety over the top, specifically on critical downs, like a third down. What are the challenges with that as a play caller? Because you obviously want to get the ball, but you still got to.
I have a lot of faith in everybody. Anyone who's on the field, I got 100% faith in they're going to make the play. So if they want to do that, we're going to get the ball to Jamar. Jamar's made plays all year. We're going to get the ball to Bussy. We'll get the ball to Brady. They're going to make plays all year. We're going to get the ball to Gregg. We're going to get the ball to Sut. We're going to run Bilu. We're going to make plays all year. Our tight ends have done a good job. So they keep doing that. Cool. We got other guys. It's not like we're a one-man team by any stretch of imagination.
You talked about the 15-20 on comebackers and the quick 1-2 drop, let it go. You're doing a little bit more of that as the season's going on rather than the 5-step drop, throw it deep. Is that throwing some of these other teams off a little bit?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think what I'm doing is messing with them as much as they mess with us. But I'm with you, yes. So part of that is they're starting to play a little softer. Jamari's hit some big plays over top, right? So they're going to play a little softer over top of Jamar. Tez has made some one-on-one throws on the blue line in the end zone, stuff like that. So they're going to play a little bit softer. Especially last week, they were playing soft as a son of a gun. So we went back to some 5-yard throws, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands into our athletes' hands, and let them go to work. So to me, I keep saying, but that's all part of the chess match going back and forth. And I love the games when you can go out and what you wrote down on the sheet of paper happens exactly like you say it was going to, and the defense does exactly what you thought they were going to do. But that happens, 10% of the time. So you got to be ready to adjust, just like defenses adjust. And then in the third drive, you got to adjust to what they're doing and continue going. That's the fun of the game. That's why I seem so happy after games. With the headaches and stuff like that. It's the fun part of what we do. Appreciate y'all.